Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of What the Hell Do You Do with Scott Shannon. Today I'm meeting with an amazing realtor from the Villages. His name is Guy Williams. And Guy, why don't we tell us a little bit about yourself, where you work, what the hell do you do, Guy?
Yeah.
All right.
So as Scott said, I'm Guy. I've got a team here in the Villages. We're at RE/MAX Premier Realty. Got about 6 employees. We are very proud to say we've been the #1 selling team in the Villages since 2020. Closed 160 deals last year. About 70% of that was warm business. So we try to take really good care of people. Haven't been doing this all that long, I think, relative to a lot of realtors in this area.
Mm-hmm.
But we love what we do. We try to take good care of our clients.
Yeah, I can say, I mean, this group closes more business than Publix makes subs. So, I mean, it's pretty sick what these guys do. I mean, they put together a great team, and it's like a machine, and they do a great job, and they take good care of their clients. I can tell you that for sure. So, Guy, let me ask you this. Let's set the scene a little bit. How would your wife describe you?
Ooh. I think my wife would describe me as driven,
Okay.
focused,
Mm-hmm.
but occasionally distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What distracts you?
Anything that's not like kind of instant gratification. So whatever's like the biggest problem, whatever's in front of me, I tend to focus on that.
Yeah.
All the other little stuff kind of falls by the wayside. So when I'm
Mm.
at home, I need like constant reminders to do my chores and all the little things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when it comes to like big projects, things that I find value and purpose and meaning in, like I'm all in. I'm very focused.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you have to do chores at home? I mean, you have a housekeeper that does all that?
Yep. No? Do chores at home.
Now, do you have like 17 kids?
5.
5. Are you done?
Yeah.
You're done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you Mormon?
I was one of 4.
Okay.
So I came from a bigger family. Allison's one of 6.
Yeah.
So we agreed to meet in the middle.
Oh, really? Okay.
We just welcomed our 5th baby, little Theodore, about 2 months ago.
Theodore, you're going to call him Theo?
Teddy.
Teddy.
Yeah,
all right. That's cool.
He's more of a Teddy. Right now, he's a Teddy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Did you get the onesie I sent you?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah. My dad's a kick-ass realtor or something like that.
Yeah. Very good. So, Guy, I mean, what would you say you do? I mean, what the hell do you do? Like, what's your day look like on a daily basis?
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we've got a team.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a partner, Matt Roberts. He's actually my brother-in-law.
Okay.
Together, we lead the team. So
he's like 7'6" or something.
6'9".
Oh, okay.
He's a big boy. Oh, he's 6'8".
He was on the Addams Family back in the day, right? Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah.
All right.
So we provide direction for the team, kind of cast the vision, set our goals. Matt and I are in charge of bringing in leads for the business. That's our main job.
Yep.
So my daily activities usually revolve around leads in some way, shape, or form. So taking care of the leads that we have, converting the leads that we have, and going out and getting new leads.
Yep.
So that looks like calling past clients, calling business partners that refer us business, checking in with the existing files that we have under contract, the active listings that we have, making sure we're staying on top of that. And then, of course, we do occasionally get kind of caught up in some of the administrative side of things.
Yeah.
But we have a great team that takes care of about 90% of it.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's the same job I have. I mean, that's pretty much my only thing is just bring the business in the door every day.
Absolutely.
Yep. And that's a grind, guys.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, my job's so hard. Go out and make people want to work with you is probably the hardest job you can have. In my opinion. I mean, it's just get people to know, love, and trust you, and then, put their biggest asset in your hands and say, yeah, hell, I'm picking you. That's a big one, right? So that's awesome.
I always say, like, when it comes to getting business, when it comes to taking care of people, you can be a really good business person. You can have really good systems and processes. You can run a really tight P&L. You can be a very profitable business, but you're not going to grow unless you're a good person. So you have to be a good business person. You have to be a good person.
Right.
And I think the key to being a good person is like being authentic with people, telling the truth, always doing the right thing. My dad, who was in business his whole life, had a little saying that he instilled in my brain.
Okay.
It's like a tattoo on my brain, and it's doing the right thing is always the right thing. So there's times where we do the right thing. It doesn't make the most sense business wise, but we try to take care of people and Yeah.
That's cool. Actually, it reminds me of a perfect example. I had one the other day where the survey, it's a FHA deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had a well and a septic. So on the survey, we have, just for those of you who don't know, if you have a well and septic getting an FHA loan, you have to have these setback distances mapped out on the survey.
Yep.
And we told the title company this because the title company normally orders it, right? But this was an attorney and they don't order it. So that information never got to the realtor. The realtor ordered the survey, didn't ask for those distances on there. It's a young couple, really nice people. And I ate $225 because they had to send them back out there. It's just, you do that stuff. And a lot of people make every excuse in the world, say, oh, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's easier to just take the blame and eat it because let them know you did it though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, honestly, hey, I took care of it for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's where the value gets added in.
Absolutely.
You know, absolutely cool.
Yeah.
So I got to be honest with you. You're too young to be in the villages. Okay. For those of you who don't know, and this is my joke, it's not to be insulting, but the villages is where America comes to die in a really fun way. All right. And so, I mean, honestly, you're a long way from that. Yeah. So why are you here? Like, how did you end up here?
That's a good question. Yeah. So I already mentioned I work on a family team. It's Matt and
right.
Matt's mom, Debbie, actually started the team about a dozen years ago.
With Brad.
Yep, her partner at the time. They were living in the villages, so they themselves are villagers. Through a series of circumstances, Matt, who was an aspiring academic at the time, actually living in Israel, working on his...
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Really? I'm glad he's not there right now.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt was an aspiring academic. You know, long story short, you can't make much money as a professor, right?
No.
So talking to Debbie, he got into real estate kind of at the right time, came down about 9 months later. I joined the team. I was just in the right place at the right time.
Right.
You know?
Well, you're from upstate New York too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You grew up not far from where I was, right?
Yeah. The Adirondack Park.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. I'd always been involved in real estate. My dad was a builder.
Right.
For many, many years.
I've spoke to your dad quite a bit. Yeah.
Built custom homes. So I always had an interest in real estate, kind of a proclivity to residential real estate. Never really thought of myself as a salesperson, but like I said, I was getting out of another job at the time. I got a call from Matt unexpectedly that he needed a business partner, and I took 2 weeks off work, got my license, and moved here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And honestly, like I think we need more young people in this market who have the energy to go out and do it. And I think part of that's why you've been so successful. I mean, if you look at a lot of the agents in this area, and there's no knock to them whatsoever, but they're like semi-retired people. Yeah. They're like a lot of folks, like in fairness, I see them come down and they're like, I don't play golf. I don't play pickleball. I don't want to sit around the pool and just talk about my neighbors. So what am I going to do?
Sell a house
once a year. You know what I mean? And so there's a lot of those type of agents. And then there's the pros who it's like, we're in it to win it. This is how I put food on the table. And there is a difference, and you'll know. And you know, you might work with one of those semi-retired agents, and they're nice people and they do a great job, but you're rolling the dice, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think that nationally, the average realtor sells 4 homes a year.
Yeah. Well, last year it was 71% didn't sell a single house.
Yeah.
And the first quarter of this year, do you know what the number was on that?
I'm not sure.
The first quarter this year, 92% didn't sell a single house in the first quarter of 25.
Yeah.
Just so you know, it's 2025 if you're watching this video now.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how's your golf game? If you live in here, you got to play golf or pickleball or something.
I wish I had more time to golf.
Yeah.
So I get to the driving range every once in a while. I haven't played a round of golf in like a couple years.
Okay. Well, I'll have to get you out sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I was okay at one point. But
yeah. Well, you look like an athletic guy. Not like you got to be athletic to play golf. Look at John Daly, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your origin story and some oh shit moments. All right, so I know we covered a little bit of your origin story. It was pretty straightforward. Okay, came down, got into the business, got pulled in. I was similar to that. I got out of college. My dad introduced me to a guy whose brother owned a mortgage company, and then boom, I'm in the mortgage business. You know, like I was supposed to go to law school and stop
didn't pan
that.
out.
Well, I deferred it and then just
Yeah.
was like, oh, I'm gonna go do this. This makes, making money right out of the gate rather than going to $300,000 in debt.
Yep,
Kind of
paying it off.
appealed to me.
Yeah.
So tell us about your very first deal. Was it great? Was there any chaos to it? Do you remember your very first deal?
I do.
All right. Or is there another one that you want to talk about that's just, why don't you give me a real good one and a real shitty one?
Yeah. So want to start with how I got into real estate?
Sure. Let's go. Yeah. Well, we kind of talked about it
on
a
that
little
briefly.
bit.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was actually just coming out of grad school. I had a degree in theoretical linguistics. Very useful degree.
Theoretical linguistics.
You can basically go one of two directions with a linguistics degree.
Okay.
You can go into academics and be a professor or researcher, or you could go into the world of computer science.
Okay.
I was more on the academic side, but I had an advisor that sat me down and basically told me I wasn't cut out for academics.
Huh. Where were you going to school?
I was at Harvard.
Oh, no way. I didn't know you went to Harvard.
Yeah.
This guy went to Harvard.
Yeah.
All right. That's pretty amazing.
Yep. An MA from Harvard that I don't use. But
yeah.
Long story short, I started a small company while I was in grad school that kind of gave me the entrepreneurial itch. I saw a need for copy editing and copywriting work.
Okay.
I'd been back and forth between Japan and in the United States, and kind of engrossed in the Japanese business culture. And I noticed that like a lot of their English content was just really crappy. And so I was helping businesses rewrite their web content, white papers, educational content.
Yeah.
And I had like a small team that was helping me. So that kind of like showed me that I could make a go of it in business and have like some degree of success. That didn't make a ton of money. Like at the end of the day, I wasn't making a killing, but I knew that I wanted to continue working for myself.
Right.
Literally out of the blue. So we're expecting, kind of fast forward, I'm a couple years out of grad school, we're expecting our second child.
Wow.
And I've given up on the academic dream. I'm trying to make a go of this small company. It's not exactly panning out. And I get a call from Matt. He had just started in real estate about 9 or 10 months earlier. He was doing really, really well. I asked him a couple of questions and very quickly determined it was something I wanted to pursue. So we moved back to Florida and I hit the ground running. Like most realtors, I didn't do a deal for the first 2.5 months.
Just figuring it out.
Yep.
Well, you guys were kind of like, you were a team, but you were solo, right?
Yeah. We were bringing in our own leads. Right. So I had some leads that were kind of handed to me, but my very first deal, and this goes to show the power of asking for business, I had just registered my LLC, and I turned to the attorney. I said, "You guys do estate planning, right?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, when you get a lead for a listing, who do you send it to?" And they said, "We have a list of realtors we provide." I said, "Would you mind giving me a shot? I know I'm brand new, but I'm a part of this team. They've been doing it for a long time." And the next month, I got a phone call for a potential listing. So it was one of the easiest leads I ever got.
Yeah.
I took really good care of them, and they're actually a big referral partner still to this day.
Right.
So that was my first deal. I mean, you want to talk about shitty deals? We've
pause for a second. What's the lesson we learned in that?
Ask for business.
Yeah, you don't get what you don't ask for.
Yeah.
So many people, like, because the average people are like, well, they know I'm a realtor, or they know I'm a lender, or they know I'm a plumber, or whatever it might be.
They don't assume.
Well, they probably know, but they, like, what I've heard is a lot of people like, oh, well, you're too busy, you don't need my referral. Yeah. And if you don't ask, then
I have literally been at the closing table with clients that I've been working with for years, people that have bought and sold multiple properties with me, and they'll say something like, you know, my friend Sherry, she's closing on her house next week. I'm like, why didn't you send Sherry to me? Right. I took great care of you, didn't I?
You have to ask like 5 times before
it
sticks.
So many times people see how busy we are and they assume that we don't have the bandwidth for more business. But I think it's important to be constantly asking for business. So one of the things I train my team on, and I try to do myself, is we look for wow moments. When people say wow, or you guys have been doing a great job, or you're taking really good care of this, or thank you for doing that. Right. Those are kind of the key words that should trigger in our minds. Yeah. Okay, who else do you know that might need our services? Yep. Right. So everyone knows someone that's buying or selling property at any given time. It's just a matter of whether or not you come to top of mind. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes, I mean, setting up, like, if you're going to have that kind of systematized thing, whenever you're in a conversation, just casually say, how are we doing? Are you happy with our service? And when they turn around and tell you, you're amazing, I love you guys, there's your opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, great. You know anybody else who could benefit from our amazing service that you just touted? You know, like you said, seize the opportunities. So give me a crazy, like, I'm sure we all have our crazy ones, but give me a crazy one.
I mean, in the villages, it's kind of a weird market because there's a lot of internal movement.
Mm-hmm.
So the average tenure for a homeowner in the villages is 6.5 years.
Okay.
So about every 6 years, they're either upgrading or downgrading within the community.
Mm-hmm. Or side grading because their friends live on the other side of, like, you know.
That's what I was going to say. So we've literally had people, I can think of one client in particular who we sold her house so that she could buy the exact same model 4 doors up from her friend because the garage was a little bit deeper and the floor tile was a different color.
There you go.
Those are some like we do crazy deals like that all the time where it's like, you want to sell why?
Right.
But we're happy to assist, you know?
Yeah.
And the villages is appreciated nicely. So those people do still make money when they buy and sell in short time frames. I mean, we've had some close to disaster deals. We've had some disaster deals.
Oh yeah.
Nothing in particular really comes to mind.
Nothing. You just shut it out.
I shut it out and move on to the next thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think I had one. I was with Brad actually because I knew Brad before I met you.
Yeah.
And I think we did 3 transactions for the same people in 3 years. They bought, didn't like where they were, or made friends in another part. Bought that one. And then their friends were like, oh, we want to go over to this area because we like this was closer to some square they were in. And, and then they went over there. It's just so you folks know, it's like adult Disneyland here. Like there's the squares. It's like, you know,
town squares.
Yeah, it's similar to like, you know, you got Adventureland and then you've got Fantasyland and Futureland, except it's like, you know, one looks like an old fishing village and one looks like an old Spanish fort and one looks like you're in the old West, except everybody's driving golf carts. So that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's all old stuff.
Yeah.
Like throwback with modern mixes.
Yeah.
it's
live music every night.
Yes.
Tons of entertainment. Yeah. There's no place in the world like the villages.
Yeah. Has there ever been a moment since you started where you were just like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone has those moments. Again, like nothing in particular comes to mind, but I would say in this line of work, business ebbs and flows, right? So there's months, we had a month 2 months ago where we closed 22 transactions. That's a very busy month for us as a team.
That's great for any real estate team.
Correct.
I mean, the average realtor, if they do one a month, is actually in the top 10%.
Yeah.
Probably. So to do 20 or more, you're killing it.
Yeah. So I think during those really, really busy seasons, there's always times where I'm always conscious of like how well I'm taking care of the clients. And if I don't feel like it's white glove service, I take it personally, even though it might just because we're so busy and we're kind of strapped at the moment. So there have been times where I've questioned, you know, should I keep doing this? But I just find that those are temporary thoughts. I need to push through, get through the season and move on. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you ever lost a sale because you told the truth? You're talking about how you sell it. Like,
Yeah. I think in particular with buyers. So, like any sales profession, there's always the temptation to say what you think the client wants to hear. But again, I think doing the right thing is always the right thing. Telling the truth is always the right thing. There have been times where we have buyers that come to the villages to maybe do like a trial run. And you know, that we just determined through the course of showing them homes and learning about them that it's just not the right fit. Or maybe they thought they wanted to spend X amount, but it makes a lot more sense for them to spend half of that.
Right.
You know, so we're always looking to advise people to do what's in their best interest, whether or not it makes the most sense for us as a business.
Right.
Yeah.
I would on that note too. I think on the seller side of the business, telling the truth is tough right now because the market is declining.
Yeah.
And I hate to tell you, if you bought in the last couple of years and you're trying to resell right now, chances of you getting back what you paid for it, or especially if you bought brand new construction, if you bought brand new construction the last 2 to 3 years, you may not get it, especially when you're competing. Are they dropping their prices at all?
They are. So
so you could have bought the same model 6 months ago and now they are selling it for less. Yeah. So think about that. You might want to buy a resale instead of going to new construction.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get a little better bang for your buck right now. there's a lot of other considerations when you start going into the new construction world.
Well, and the cool thing about this market that I like is like, to your point, you go into the new construction world, you're going to get blah, blah, blah. But if you want to find a good deal, there's good deals to find today. Right. And so like, if you know from a buyer's perspective, I think in this area, like I want to be in this particular area. Cool. Well, especially in the villages, it's like there's 6 models of homes in that neighborhood. So find 3 that you could picture yourself living in, make an aggressive offer on the first one. Gets turned down. Go to the second. Doesn't work out. Go to the third. Time's worth more than money to those people. They take your offer, they sell the house, and you move on. So don't just think, oh, that house is overpriced. You don't know until you make an offer. Make an offer. Yeah. You know, and that's what a lot of people, it's like, oh, they won't accept that. How do you know?
Don't assume that.
Yeah. Do not assume it. Don't assume it. I think that's the number one mistake being made by every agent, especially in the villages right now, is this old school mentality of, oh, that's insulting, or you shouldn't. No, just make it. Yeah. You don't know. You don't know if a week ago they just found out that they're, and this happened, and it's a sad story, but a week, the seller had it priced pretty high. A week prior, my buyer was going to make an offer, and they made an offer on it like 50, 60 grand below ask, which was a big hit. It was like 15% below.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, yeah, good chance, Scott, if we get it, but we're going to throw it out there and see what happens. And this is sad, but the seller's daughter just found out she had cancer in Michigan, and they needed to get up there. Now they were going to move because they want to be back closer to them, but then that happened. So they were like, we got to go help with the grandbabies. We got to be da-da-da. And so they were like, it was the first offer they had at all, because it was overpriced, and boom, they took it. Yeah. And buyer got a great deal. Seller got to move it. Time at some point becomes worth more than money.
Absolutely.
You know, especially for a lot of these folks, they pay cash for these houses. They got the equity. So it's just a matter of how much of a hit they want to take. Yeah. You know, if it's even a hit, they owned it 10 years. They're probably still making money.
Most of the ones that have owned it for 10 years they're fine.
They're fine.
It's those that bought in like 2022, 2023.
Right.
So yeah, I have more seller clients in this market than ever before telling me, I wish someone would just make an offer. Right. So they're willing to negotiate. Sellers are willing to negotiate in this market.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And I think too, it's like you got to find where the offers come in. Yeah. Right. So it's like a 2-prong approach. Where we're going to price. And then how we go into what are we going to do to get it down as we go, you know, because until you have an offer, you don't know how much your house is worth. It's only worth what somebody's willing to pay.
That's right.
You know, so a funny little religious thing that I like to say to people is, imagine I do these classes and I go in and they're like, well, how much is your house worth? Well, I think it's worth this. And I think it's worth that. I'm like, okay, now picture this. Do you know what the rapture is? Okay, in the Bible. All right, so the rapture happens and 50% of the world's population just poof goes to heaven. Okay, and all the rest of us sinners, I guess, are left here. All right, but every other house is vacant.
It went toward essentials, and I've always been really, really good about saving.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't blow it on anything.
So if you could go back and give yourself any advice in your first year, what would it have been?
That's a good question. I think don't be afraid. Don't listen to fear. I think many times we're afraid to do the things that we know we need to do. So for me, I'm actually like I test out as an introvert, not an extrovert. So like my energy comes from kind of being alone, having kind of thoughtful, contemplative time. It takes effort on my part to reach out to people. And so I have to force myself to like get on the phone, to get in front of people, to take meetings. But when I do, that's when the business kind of takes care of itself. So I think early on, I was really fearful about those activities. If I were to go back and talk to my younger self, I would say, listen to fear. Like many times when we're afraid of doing something, it's because there's something on the other side of that fear.
Yeah.
And if we just go ahead and do that thing, eventually it just becomes part of the process and you're no longer fearful around that activity.
Yeah.
So today I have like no fear around meetings, asking for business, making the calls. So I think that would be the number one thing I would tell myself.
Yeah. Mine was like as soon as I could afford it, having somebody who was my boss.
Yeah.
Like I'm great at I'm good at ideas. You put me on a stage. I'm at home.
Yeah.
But the follow up afterward.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you came to my class and I never call you again.
Yeah.
It's like, so, maybe they like me and they'll call me on their own. But if I reach out, like, and that's the thing is I think most people, they fail on the follow up. I think it's the number one thing. If you just put in that extra 2 or 3 phone calls it takes, and all of a sudden, you're getting relationships and you're getting business out of it. It's like, so some advice. Let's talk some advice that you give to different people in the villages. It's just some rapid fire questions. So what's the biggest financial mistake buyers make in the villages as a group? Keep in mind, let's define the villages one more time for people who may not be totally understanding. First of all, Google it. Okay. But it is the largest 55 and older retirement community in the world by like, there's nothing close.
Head and shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing close. I mean, Palm Springs maybe but it's not in one place, all one place, this is a city that's a 55 and older community.
Yeah.
And so what problems you would have in this area are not going to be the same on the out. It's a totally different world, like literally a mile down the road, totally different market, once you get outside of it. So now I define that. Let's talk about what are some of the biggest financial mistakes people make when they're buying in the villages.
I think one of the biggest mistakes I see people making is prioritizing newer homes when there is a slew of inventory that may be 5, 10, 15 years older, but you can get a much better deal on some of those more established neighborhoods than you can in the newer neighborhoods. And people assume just because it's newer that it's better. And it's not. Right. There's certain things we look for in the older inventory, like we want to make sure it's got a new roof, we want to make sure it's got a newer air conditioning system, that there's been certain updates that have been made to the house. But many times those older homes are better built and in closer proximity to amenities too. Right. So I would say don't rule out a home based on age. The other thing, to your point, is don't jump on the first house. Sometimes people, unless you're looking for something really specific and that really specific home,
one. Like it's got to be that one. Well, then it's got to
have a pool on the northwest side of the house. It's got to have this, and you find that. I mean, jump on it. But in this market where there's a lot of inventory, if you make an offer on a house and the seller's not willing to negotiate, move on to the next one.
Especially when you got so many homes that are literally the same floor plan. Yeah. Like that one has nicer tile or carpet or paint on the walls. Yeah. Do it yourself. Yeah. If you get a $30,000, $40,000 better deal, you can afford to do your own changes to make it what you want it to be. If you have a good agent, they'll have a vendor list. I had a lady recently, she was shopping for a home with me and she said, don't show me any houses with carpet. And I was like, well, Nancy, what if we find the perfect house for you and it has carpet? Lo and behold, we found her the perfect house. It had carpet. She wasn't going to write an offer on it, but I told her, let me make a couple phone calls. I had 2 flooring contractors in there to give her quotes. We picked one. She closed at 9 a.m. 3 weeks later. We had by 12 or 1 o'clock, we had the flooring replaced. So, those little things like flooring, paint, don't let those be obstacles for getting into the right house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see any situations, this might be getting a little bit deep, but where like buyers overlook when they're budgeting for their retirement real estate?
In terms of like the overall cost of living, what it
Mhm.
costs to own a home in the villages?
Yeah. I mean that, or just, oh shoot, I didn't expect this, or I didn't expect that, or like, because there's this big swath allure of the place, this whole kind of lifestyle thing, and then I realize a lot of people come down and don't. They think they can buy something for 200,000 or 300,000 because on the outskirts that's what you can get, but it's not anywhere near what they thought it would be. Especially like New Yorkers are like, oh, I can, um, anything like that.
I think, yeah, it is true. We do occasionally get buyers that are looking in such a low price range that there's really nothing in the villages that are available to them. The good thing about the villages is we've got homes anywhere from like the mid 200s up to 2.5
Million.
even like plus million.
Right. Yeah.
Our median price points in the mid 400s right now. In terms of like budgeting for costs, I mean, the bond system in the villages is a little weird,
It is weird.
where they have a municipal bond on the house, and that can inflate the tax bill on the property. So I think you need to make sure you know what you're looking at for any given home. When you look at listings online, it's going to give you the listing agent will have put the current property taxes in there. Take that with a grain of salt, because those are not always loaded correctly.
Right.
And also, taxes are going to change when you purchase the home. So as realtors, we're not legally allowed to estimate your property taxes, but I mean, you can take the millage rate and kind of figure out what the taxes are going to be, more or less. I think that's the biggest area that home buyers don't fully think through, is what is my total property tax liability? And then if there's a municipal bond, what's that payment look like? And how does that influence the cost of living?
I've seen the bond actually recently, and I'm sure you've done this yourself, as a negotiating tool now. Because like, okay, I'll make a little bit better offer on your house, but you're paying the bond off at closing, and because that saves them more money on a monthly basis if they have a mortgage, or on an annual basis if they're paying cash, than simply just getting the house for less money. So it's kind of a cool thing. Let's see here. What would you say the psychology right now that's working when it comes to pricing a house? Like like when you're going into a listing appointment, like what are the things that people are most concerned about? How are you overcoming them and bringing them into reality? Because unfortunately, most people pay attention. They only pay attention to the home prices and values when they're buying or selling. And when they're just living there, they don't think about it. They might look at Zillow every now and then, but where are you at on that?
This is actually one of my favorite things to talk about with sellers. So I have a whole presentation I do
love to win.
every listing consultation. I literally, this is coming from my teaching days, I flip over my listing packet, I take a blank sheet of paper and I draw a graph. And I start in 2022 and I go every year and I tell them what the average days on market was, what the total inventory was, and what the list price to sale price ratio was. And what I do is I paint a picture for what the market has done and what changes have taken place in the last 3 years. And it's very clear when you look at it over a 3-year timeline that the market is cooling. Pricing has come down.
Right.
Not terribly, but pricing has come down. We're in the process of it coming down even more. I think we're in a correcting market.
Right.
And so what I'm reminding sellers is, if you want to price your home, let's say we establish a fair market value of 450 to 500, it's most likely going to sell for 475. Let's say you price your house for 499, it sits on the market. As soon as we get over that 1.5 to 2 month mark, the listing's starting to get stale. And now, instead of correcting to 475, the market's come down a little bit more. You've got to correct a little bit more. So that's the conversation I'm having with sellers.
Right.
We're also setting very clear expectations up front. This actually came from you. This is a data point that I use with my home sellers is I look at the average number of showings per week across all of our active listings. And right now we're close to 2 showings per week. Okay. And so I tell my sellers is, if you're getting 0 showings per week within the first 2 to 3 weeks on the market, that's your hottest time on the market. We're about 8% overpriced,
right?
Give or take. And
the
this
853 rule.
The 853 rule. If you're getting less than the average amount of showing activity, you don't have any serious interest. You're about 5% overpriced.
Right.
If you're getting the showing activity, the ball's kind of rolling, but you really haven't had anyone write an offer or talk about writing an offer, you're probably only about 3% overpriced.
Yep.
So we're having the pricing conversation early on so that
Mhm.
it's not a surprise when we have it 2 weeks later and a month later.
Yeah, my buddy out in Texas, man's killing it with that. He's selling all of his listings.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he'll only take the listings that buy into that agreement.
Mhm.
We're going to do this, and if you don't like it, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
Because my job's to sell your house, and we can't only do it if we have offers. If we don't have an offer, we can't sell anything.
Exactly.
You know, so otherwise we're just wasting our time. So, all right. PMI, are there any panic moments that you've seen with buyers and sellers that are just like way overblown and really shouldn't be? I know you have. It's just like I'm freaking out about home inspections stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, people freak out. I think that's probably the number one thing I can think of on my end that I hear is the number one thing that deals die on.
Home inspections?
Yeah, it's like somebody freaks out about nothing and then just kills the deal because they already had buyer's remorse lots of times or whatever. But what else you got? You can think of anything else?
I think the home inspection report, like that's something that you need to sit down and review with your agent, because agents are going to have a better understanding on like what constitutes a general repair and what doesn't. You also have to keep in mind those reports are written. They're pre-filled language.
Right.
So many times inspectors have like a drop-down menu where they just select the most appropriate description of whatever it is they're looking at.
So they can do a bunch at once.
Correct.
Otherwise it'd be hand typing, taking days.
So I think you really need to know what you're looking at when it comes to home report. There really isn't any one consistent thing. The one thing that comes to mind is roofs.
Yeah.
Right. So right now we're in an insurance market where once your roof gets past about 15 years, you have very limited insurance options. In fact, in many cases,
once it goes beyond 20, I think it's like almost nothing.
None.
Right.
Yeah. You might be able to get coverage with Citizens, the state insurance company. But
they're allowed to put metal roofs in here in the villages. It's not.
I heard that they're starting to.
They should.
They're starting to.
Metal. They've got new rubber tiles now. Have you seen these things?
Yeah.
They look like slate.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to last like 60 years. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what the Florida sun does. Sorry to interrupt you.
The metal roofs are expensive though, man.
Mine was as expensive as I'll get out.
Yeah. So I don't see a whole lot of villagers going that route. The other thing they're going to have to do is they're going to have to change the deed restrictions. Right. Because a lot of the deed restrictions state in there that it has to be architectural shingles.
Right.
So an architectural shingle roof, even if it's rated for 30 years, in Florida it's going to last maybe 20, 22, 23 years. The problem is insurance companies don't want to touch it if it's past that 20-year mark.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of buyers are kind of freaking out even before they go under contract if they're looking at a house and the roof is say 16, 17 years old.
Yeah. So how are we overcoming that?
When I'm working with the seller, I try to get them to replace the roof or factor in a credit for replacement.
Up front? Okay.
So that is not an obstacle.
Right. What if you're working with the buyer side?
If I'm working with the buyer, I'm trying to either negotiate into the deal or we'll put a caveat on the contract that says that the contract's contingent upon the buyer obtaining homeowner's insurance.
Okay. Yeah.
So that way, if they can't get homeowner's insurance,
because you got roofers who are putting roofs on prior to closing and taking payment at closing now.
Correct.
So you just build it into the deal.
Correct.
So I mean, like even if the house had a 14-year-old roof, especially if I'm taking out a mortgage, right? Why wouldn't I want to just build it into the deal?
Yeah, that's one way to do it. And the other thing to remember,
you finance it in essentially.
Basically, yeah. That's the best option.
Yeah, it's a $400,000 house, $10,000 roof.
Yeah. I'm
going to offer $410,000. Seller's going to pay for it out of their proceeds. Easy peasy. Got a new roof, and we've done it with ACs. We've done it with hot water heaters, all that stuff. You can do all that. I mean, why not build it right in? Yeah. You know, especially if you're financing.
Then you're not paying for it out of pocket. Yeah.
Right. If it's cash, it's cash. Right.
If you're a cash buyer,
your own roof.
If you're a cash buyer, you're getting a good deal on the house. What we do in many cases, if the insurance is an issue, there are some insurance providers that will, bind a policy and then they'll give you a 30-day window or something after closing to replace the roof.
Yeah.
So there's always an option.
All right. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about your people behind the hustle and your team.
Yeah.
All right. So, how do you stay grounded in like such a competitive field out here? Like what keeps you like just grounded?
It's a good question, man. I think my family is really important. I think with 5 kids. Yeah. Better be.
Yeah.
So my life is very chaotic at home. My life is chaotic at work. And sometimes it can be tough to stay grounded, but I think just spending time with the kids, like getting back to the basics, having family meals together, like just trying to spend every waking moment I can at home with them.
Yeah.
That way, when I'm at work, I'm in work mode.
Yeah.
So I think of it as compartmentalization.
Mhm.
Like when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I try not to mix the two.
Yeah.
That helps me out. And
How old are yours now?
10, I've got 10 is the oldest all the way down to 2 months.
Dude, I'm telling you, love on it. Okay,
Yeah.
because mine are 16, 15, 13, and 8.
Yeah.
This summer, do you know how many meals we've had together?
Not too many.
If it's not at a restaurant, like almost zero.
Yeah.
Because they're all going in different directions.
Yeah.
You know, and one's working, one's at a sleepover, one's at summer camp. I got one at summer camp right now, one at a sleepover, one's got work tonight, and the other one's at his buddy's house. So if you just don't, it's like you only have that time goes away real fast, you know?
Flies.
Yeah. And it's not, you know, it's not because they wouldn't have dinner with us. Just, you know, I was their way too, right? So it's wild. But what's your ideal client and which ones drive you insane? Like if you could just if I could just have these people and never anything else, what would it be?
It boils down to trust.
Okay.
So people that trust me instantly and inherently,
right.
Many times these are warm clients. So these are clients that are referred from past clients or current clients that we're doing business with. They call me up, they say, hey guy, I hear you're the best. You took really good care of Sally.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a house, or I want to sell my house. Those are the best clients. So I'm not competing with anyone.
Right.
I don't have to prove myself, even though I still do give my full marketing presentation.
Yeah, you do your job. Yeah.
But they're coming to us on a referral basis and they trust me inherently. Those are the best clients.
Yep.
The worst is the opposite of that, where you're constantly having to earn their trust.
Right.
There are, for whatever reason, a category of people in the world that are just distrusting.
Right.
Maybe they were burned on a previous deal, and that's just how they view every business person. But yeah, I think it boils down to trust.
And on my side, for the older folks, a lot of them haven't taken out a loan in 15 to 20 years, and they forgot, or they don't realize how much paperwork's involved, and they think where they're like trying to steal their identity or something. Like I've literally had people be like, all right, what are you going to do with all this? Like, and like my favorite line is like I literally have senators' phone numbers in my thing.
Yeah.
I said, here's their phone number. If you want to complain, that's who you need to complain to, because I didn't write the laws, and the laws are what made the rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not doing this to put extra paper in my pillow at night. You know what I mean? So it's fat enough as it is. I don't need any more.
Fortunately, we don't have to collect as much information.
Oh yeah. That's we're the unfortunately you guys are kind of like the fun ones to a degree. Yeah, we're the bad guy. From the standpoint of
I need your tax returns.
Tax returns, bank statements, firstborn, blood sample, urine, feces, all the usual stuff. We do need that now. Just FYI, it's part of the DNA check to make sure you can get a mortgage. So tell me about some team members that you have, and who just has your back. If you didn't have them, you just don't know how your day would go.
Yeah.
Because once you have a team, that's the thing, man. You can't go back. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're like fairly new to the team concept too. So I told you about the early days when it was Debbie, Brad, Matt, and I.
You were all like solo out there,
just kind of running around, wearing all the different hats.
Yeah.
So I was my own transaction coordinator. I was my own listing coordinator. I was my own administrative person.
Right.
That's one model of doing business, and that's, I think, unfortunately, the model for a lot of.
It's like, why be a team then? That was always my argument. And I talked to Brad incessantly about it. I'm like, well, why even have a team set up if you're going to run around all on your own anyway?
In that model where it's a bunch of licensed agents running around doing sales, it does benefit
collaboratively,
because you're collaborating. If you're out of town or you can't take the client, you can hand them off, and there's still a financial benefit. But the model that we run now is very admin heavy. So we have administrative people that take care of all the administrative stuff, so we can focus on sales. So it's Matt and I run the team. We've got two really awesome buyers specialists that help us with a lot of our buyer leads.
Okay.
So Colleen and Ashley.
What do Colleen and Ashley do?
So they're doing a lot of open houses. They're with me during the buyer consultation when we're bringing in a new buyer and consulting with them, learning about their wants, needs, and desires. They're assisting with showings, with scheduling inspections, final walkthroughs, and that sort of thing. So they're on the sales side, but they're a little bit more activity heavy.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of showing activities and open house activities. And then we have our transaction coordinators, Jackie and Brittany. They're the ones that facilitate the pre-listing process and the contract to close.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we go under contract, they're the ones that are communicating with the lender, the buyer, the seller, the title company, anyone that's involved. They're also overseeing like our inspection repairs, if we're doing inspection repairs, to make sure everything gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt and I each have a personal assistant. So Stephanie and Avery are our personal assistants. They help us with just our emails, calendars, scheduling, making sure we do what we need to do on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I already know this answer, but like, do you have any trouble like balancing your ambition with authenticity? You don't really strike me as somebody who does too much, like where you're just like, I want all this, but like also just being able to repeat that constantly where you like, you know, where you can show it to people.
That's a really good question. Yeah. So I've never been like a word of the year kind of person, but there was last year, someone asked me, they're like,
word of the year?
Word of the year.
So never heard that.
You pick a concept that you're working on, and it's usually like a personal development thing. And last year I gave it like some thought, and I really felt like humility was something that I needed to work on.
Okay.
I have this tendency to like my ego kind of like, you know, in my own head.
You've never struck me that way.
That's exactly what
people say it about me. I have a big ego.
So I told my dad this. I said, I really want to work on humility this year. And he goes, you're like one of the most humble people I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe
you and Matt are pretty humble people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be honest.
Maybe it's all here.
Yeah.
You know? But I do, like, I have a lot of weaknesses. I'm very cognizant of my weaknesses. I'm always working on myself. I just hired a personal development coach.
Yeah.
Like I'm always working on myself. And I think if you're always making an effort to like overcome your weaknesses and improve yourself, it's not hard to be authentic.
Yeah.
You know?
I would agree with that.
I'd say the biggest challenge in this line of work is not taking things personally. So like when something goes south or someone's not happy, if it's outside your control, my tendency is to take it personally. So I think that's probably a bigger struggle than authenticity. Yeah.
Like, and on my side of it too, like, you know, like I look at you folks, the realtors, our referral partners, our business partners, is really the ones I need to ultimately make happy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just going to have that client that nothing will make happy.
Yeah.
They're going to complain about everybody. Now, what's funny is sometimes you have that client who complains about everything, and after they close, they're the most thankful people on the planet, and they refer the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why were you a total nightmare to me the whole time, and now you love me? A lot of it's stress. A lot of it's because they just have this in the back of their mind that something is going to snap and the whole thing's going to fall apart, and they're going to lose money, or you know, like, so is there anything that like keeps you up at night professionally, like where you just sit there and like I know there's stuff that I just goes through my head, like I'll sometimes get up and literally type out my day just so I can get it off my mind and shut my eyes and go to sleep.
Take a blank sheet of paper every night before I go to bed, and I write down all my thoughts, all the things that are running through my mind that I need to do the next day or the next week.
Right.
So that helps me.
Yeah.
To your point about people being nightmares during the closing process,
right?
I do think it's stress induced, and I think most people can't regulate their nervous systems. Right. What I mean by that is like their cortisol spikes, and it just like,
especially when you're older.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with the older demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have it. I mean, I'm 45 now, and all of a sudden I'm like, I get jittery sometimes. I'm like, what the heck's wrong with me? I used to be
drinking too much coffee.
Probably. Yeah. Coffee.
But like to stay grounded for me, like to keep my nervous system in check and to be able to turn off those stress hormones when they flare up.
Yeah.
I find for me just like literally going outside, getting some fresh air, taking some deep breaths, getting out in the sun. We live in this beautiful sunshine state. Most of us spend all of our time inside.
I know. Well, it is hot as hell right now.
Yeah. But every morning I'm outside in my backyard, with my shirt off, my feet on the ground, looking at the sun.
Did you move into your new farm yet?
Not yet.
No? You're still doing it up?
Still working on it. So
this guy bought this crazy, like, he calls me up one day and he goes, Scott, I got this property I want to buy. It's like 70 acres and half of it's wetlands and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what, do you want your kids to get eaten by gators or something in water moccasins? Like, what's your jam? And he's like, no, I just want to be out in the middle of nowhere and have this peaceful area. And I was like, all right, awesome. Cool, bro. Yeah, so.
I have my own state park. Like,
yeah, it's awesome. Cool. He's like got a piece of, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to see it. You haven't even shown it. I saw the pictures, but I haven't seen it.
We're probably like 60, 70% done with the renovations right now. I just got to start kind of putting it back together. I'm hoping by the end of this year, I can have like a big housewarming party out there.
All right.
It'd be fun.
Cool. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, let me know.
I got sandhill cranes that like come right up to the window and they like peck at their reflection.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's so cool. Yeah. So we're going to get into a little bit of like a community spotlight about the villages. Yep. I've got a gift for you to start that off. I think it's worth a worthy conversation. So what color you want?
I don't want to pick the wrong one.
I don't know either. My assistant pulled them up before.
The gray one looks safe. This looks
safe.
The
black one is the one that's
is this
yeah. Well, that one's gray, but black's the one that's supposed to be like no holds barred, like nothing. There's no rules. All right. So for those of you who don't know, the Google search loofah, the villages. Is it true? Is there any? Are the rumors true?
Here's how this started. There are a lot of people in the villages. Mm-hmm. There's in the neighborhood of like 150,000 people, and they're elderly. Many times when they're shopping at Publix, they're driving their white Subaru, and there's 30 other white Subarus in the parking lot. And so they developed this system for identifying their cars and their golf carts.
Oh, that's what it was.
Where they put a loofah on the antenna. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Right.
And the different colors obviously are just like to signify that it's your car, not someone else's.
Sure.
But somewhere along the lines, someone on social media put together this chart saying that the loofahs designated other things, like whether or not you're a swinger, what your sexual orientation was, what you're into.
Yeah.
And it took off, and it is so popular online right now that like
there's a whole news article in Great Britain. They did on I don't remember what. I don't know if you've seen it, but you can watch it on YouTube. And it was a real news article.
Maybe there's some like subsect. There's like some group of people in the villages that do use this as a coding system, but the vast majority of people I've talked to.
Yeah. No, 90% of the villages are just fun retired folks having a good time. Yeah. 10%, and this, I'm going to tell you the story I heard. I did a loan for an OBGYN down here.
Yeah.
And there was at a period of time, and this is where this makes this conversation fun. There was a period of time, the villages, and I don't know if it's still true or not, but where they had the highest positive STD rates in America by per capita. And that is a fact. Yeah. And the reason why, according to my client, who's the OBGYN, is that you've got a lot of folks move down and their husband or wife passes away and they stay here. So they're single and they've been single for the first time in their life. And they're people who live here have an active lifestyle. So they're just like, and so they're going out and having fun and they meet other single people and they're not using protection because they're not worried about getting pregnant. Okay. But they do spread some stuff around.
Yep.
And that's where it all kind of went. Then it went to the loofahs.
Like any joke or any online humor, there is a little bit of truth to it.
There's some truth to it. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I just think it's a funny story. And everybody always, like, when I go home to visit New York and they know that part of my mark's the villages, they're like, I get those old ladies throwing at you.
I was in Seattle recently and people, this is all they knew about the villages was the loofahs and the STDs.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, just because you're older and can't have kids, use protection, folks. All right, that's our thing. There was a black market. A guy got arrested for selling Viagra on the black market.
Really, in the villages?
To multiple people. There was a whole sting. Yeah, there was a whole sting for performance enhancing drugs. True story. You can look it up.
Did you know that in the villages? There is, the last time I checked, for every one single male, there's about 6 single females.
Yeah, because we die earlier.
Correct. We eat too many cheeseburgers.
So we need to take care of ourselves so we can.
If you're a single guy and you're looking for love,
yeah, exactly.
Villages may be the place.
And if you're a single young guy, you just, that's funny. Well, we kind of just talked about some of it. I'm going to run through some quick questions, and if you want to give me some quick answers, that's cool. What makes the villages unlike any other market in Florida? I think we've kind of covered that ad nauseum, but go for it.
Every day's the weekend.
True. Okay, that's perfect. Every day's the weekend. Yeah. There's nobody's, checking a clock every day. Yeah. Maybe just look at their stock portfolio.
I mean, it is awesome. So. Like when we go to people's houses for listing appointments, we're doing this like Monday to Friday, doing it during work hours. And it's great because like people have time. You get to sit and like learn from them. There's a lot of wisdom in the older population. These
Right.
people have a lot of life experience.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's what makes it such a special place is I don't know anywhere else in the world I can have, I've got a client that's a retired senator. I've got a client that was like one of the biggest doctors in Canada. I've got a guy that sells yachts, like.
Oh, that's cool.
I've had some pretty cool clients.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Professional baseball players, like
Retired.
Retired, of course.
Of course. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's wild like that. Is there a local business around here you swear by? A restaurant or anything like that? I know you've got a lot of favorites.
I've got a couple. So this is one of the things that perplexes me about the Villages. You've got a bunch of retirees with expendable income that love eating out and don't want to cook.
Right.
Yet the restaurant market is not so good here. I mean, there's a lot of country clubs in the Villages that are okay, but a few of my favorites, Mesa Luna in Colony Plaza. It's like an Italian-American type place. Really good lunch and dinner. You got to try their oysters. I really like Coastal Del Mar in Spanish Springs Town Square, kind of a seafood steak house kind of vibe. Prima Italian Steakhouse. My buddy George Suleiman runs that place in Brownwood Paddock Square. Prima Italian Steakhouse. And then if you like a cafe kind of vibe, there's this new place on 301. It's a Colombian inspired.
You and I went there.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was
so very
really
unique
good.
dishes.
It's mom and pop too, right?
Yeah.
Like, look, you could tell it was like family run. It was good.
Run by a small Colombian family. They're retired engineers. And they make a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was in a conversation the other day. Where was it? Oh, I was actually at the country club, and we were talking about the Villages and we were talking about the restaurants, and we were at, like, 'cause they rotate through so many restaurants constantly. There's and some of the squares have nice restaurant space that's vacant right now. And if the Village owners are listening, let me give you a little tip. Okay, restaurants run on thin margins. Okay. And when you're charging them exorbitant rent because they're gonna be in the top spot or whatever, and then on top of it, you take a percentage off the top because anywhere, a lot of people don't realize this, anywhere who's in the Villages, the Villages, correct me if I'm wrong here, takes a piece. Yeah. So you have to actually give them proof of how much your earnings were and blah, 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 and they get a little piece of it. And if you're not profitable after a certain point, they'll kick you out. If you are profitable, they take a piece. And so what's the tragedy of, from what I heard and why to answer, I think just my theory is that, I hate to say it, the owners of the Villages are being too greedy. You want to have good restaurants. They already run on thin margins. Yeah. You gotta, if you maybe carve out the restaurants and say, we're going to take a little bit less, or charge them a little bit less rent.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's going to keep it and also build that. Because people come and go here and like, oh, I went to that place once and now it's not there anymore. And it's like, and I loved it and it's gone. You know, it's wild. So I don't know. Yeah. Is there any logic to that?
I think you're right that the Villages does, the family that owns the Villages company, they do try to keep tight control and like
there is value to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I second that.
All right, I'm just looking out for the local business owners. Look at you. All right. Okay, so what do you tell people, what do you tell people who don't get this area? Like if they're like, I just don't understand it. Like what, how do you, anything?
I tell people they're not buying houses, they're buying a lifestyle. And if the lifestyle doesn't make sense to you, it's not for you.
Right. Because, I mean, honestly, a $400,000 house outside, like literally a couple miles outside the Villages is almost double the size if it's not in it, right?
Yeah, in some cases. Although the Villages market has kind of caused the markets around it to...
Oh, yeah.
Like a rising tide raises all ships,
right? Absolutely, yeah.
I think our housing markets around the Villages have done very well, too. But a lot of retired people, this isn't their vibe. They want to be on the beach somewhere. And,
right. I mean, I love coming down here. I bring friends when they come from out of town down here and show them around, and we'll go out to eat, and it's cool. Yeah. I don't think I'd want. It's just not my. Not your style. I live on 5 acres, and I like my peace and my privacy. But then I have lots of friends who I know would thrive, will be here in the Villages, and it's just your life, like you said. You know. Let's see here. Is there anybody local you want to give a shout out to who you think local business relationship people who've helped your business grow that you want to give a shout out to?
That's a great question. I mean, I would give a shout out to you, man.
Thanks.
You mentioned earlier you did the mortgage on my house. You guys have
Mhm.
done the mortgage for countless clients for us. If you're looking for a good lender in the area, I'm not saying this just because you're sitting here.
Oh, thank
Scott's team is the best team around.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I love Cross Country Mortgage.
Mhm.
I think you guys have like the best product selection for mortgages.
I think we've got like almost everything you could need. You know, it's almost overwhelming actually. Sometimes when people call up, people like, can you do this? I'm like, I don't think so. And then I look and it's like, oh, we can. Yeah, we can do that. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I don't want to give a shout out to too many of my other vendors because I want to keep them for myself.
Oh, you're being. Oh, okay. All right. I see how it is. All right. Is there any kind of like hidden gem that needs more love in this area? Like something that I know you gave a shout out to that restaurant on 301. Is there any other ones that you're like, or maybe it's not food, maybe it's activity or something, you know?
So a lot of people come here from other parts of the country and state. Something that I remind people is Florida has a lot of natural attractions. Like our cold springs are like unlike anywhere else in the world.
Yeah. My wife's out there every weekend on a paddleboard with some of her friends or my kids or whatever. Yeah.
So especially in your area, like Ocala area, there's a lot of natural cold springs you can go to swim, paddleboard. We were at Bronson Blue Springs, which is outside Gainesville area.
Yep. It's not that far.
Archer, like an Archer area. Yeah. And they had like a dock there where you could dive down and go down to the spring head. Yep. Water stays at 72 or 73 degrees year round.
Which honestly, folks, is not that bad when it's like today is like 100 out.
Yeah.
It feels great. Like at first it's like, oh, but then you're like, oh, okay, that feels good.
Yeah. If you're coming to Central Florida, you got to check out the cold springs.
Yep. I would agree with that. What makes this place feel like home to you right now? Like you've been here for a little while now. I mean, it took me a little bit to kind of acclimate, I've been here 20 years now. So
the Villages has been the fastest growing metro in the United States for the last 3 years, which is like kind of mind boggling.
I know.
It doesn't really feel that way. I think they've done a good job of
spreading it out.
Kind of spreading it out.
You're like 5 counties now, it feels like.
Yeah. Well, 3, but yeah.
It's like the blob. Yeah. It just keeps growing, the tentacles.
But it does really have a small town feel. I love the convenience of living in this area. I'm just 4 minutes outside the Villages.
Right.
But I've got access to all the shopping, dining, banking, all that stuff. Yeah. I think in terms of what makes it feel like home for me, it's just family. Like wherever my family is home. Yeah. I'm fortunate to have, my sister lives down here. My parents moved down here recently. So yeah, family's everything to me.
Nice. Yeah. And now this is a loaded question because I know there's a bunch of traditional things in the Villages. Is there any like particular tradition that the Villages have, like an annual event that they do once a year that's just like, that's actually like my favorite? Like, do you have any like that? I
Not annual.
They have like a pair for like the golf car parades, and they have all sorts.
They
of
have
stuff.
Some cool stuff. Like around holidays, they've got some pretty cool things they do. Parades and whatnot. Christmas in the town squares is really cool with the big trees that they put up. Yeah. But I think for me, again, I'm kind of like a small town feel kind of person. Brownwood Farmers Market. Okay. So they do a farmers market. I think it's the first or second Saturday of the month. I haven't been in a while, but for a while we were going to almost every one. Yeah. I recommend checking out the farmers market. It's a great way to interact with local vendors and buy local produce and meat and all that stuff. That's cool. Yeah. And then if you can't make it on the off weeks, you got the Marion Market right up the road too, which always every weekend has the fresh produce. Huge. Yeah, Marion Market's I think it's like, is it the largest flea market in the state? It's huge. I wouldn't be surprised. So massive. Yeah. I mean, you get lost in it. It goes on forever. I did get lost. Oh yeah. We used to bring the kids there just for fun. Like when we were, coming up and didn't have a lot of money and we just like needed something to do. We just walk around and buy the kids like a $2 or something. And, it's always interesting. So, where's your go-to for a weekend reset? Is there any places that you like get out of here and love going? Like what's Mount Dora? Mount Dora. Okay. Mount Dora in Lake Downtown County. Okay. On a boat or like just hanging out in town? We've done it all. I just like to get an Airbnb. Okay. The wife and I. Really? So Allison and I, our last anniversary, we got a little Airbnb there. I like the downtown feel. They've got a couple restaurants I really like. I'm a cigar guy, so there's a
Yeah.
nice cigar lounge there.
Right.
But yeah, Mount Dora is awesome. Hidden gem. I think it was New York Times or New York Magazine put together a list of like the 10 quaintest towns on the East Coast, and Mount Dora was one of them.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
it's been a minute since I drove down there. I mean, I've gone by it 100 times, but I haven't been like down in where the town is, all that. Because they also do like, they got the planes, right?
Yeah.
They've got the
seaplanes.
There's
That's
seaplanes. Yeah, it's cool.
Tavares area has a lot of those.
You ever take the flight? I hear you go pay a couple bucks and they'll fly you around.
I've done it. Yeah.
You've done it?
Yeah.
All right.
It's fun.
Ours is St. Augustine. We like to go up there
Yeah.
and get an Airbnb and go hang out up there. You ever do that?
I've been to St. Augustine a couple of times.
The nightlife there is fun.
It is. Yeah.
But I'm trying not to drink, so it's kind of hard.
You gotta stay away.
Oh yeah, it's like because everywhere is throwing alcohol at you up there. It's kind of like anyway, but cool, man. What's something about Ocala or the villages that outsiders always underestimate? Like what is there anything that you can think about that they're like, oh, they just don't realize how cool it is till they see it?
Yeah.
I know you said the springs that kind of, is there anything else?
For this area in particular, like when you enter the villages, there's these big signs that say Florida's friendliest hometown. And it is a catchphrase, but I really do think it's true that the villages is one of the friendliest places I've ever like lived or done business. It's also extremely safe.
Oh yeah,
one of the safest places in the United States.
Oh, everybody's packing too.
Yeah,
Don't mess around.
Yeah, don't try to start nothing.
No.
But yeah, I would just say like people around here are super friendly. They want to help. I love even just going to the grocery store with my kids. To see the villagers around. Oh, they're so cute. Like
right, because you're one of
young children like a novelty.
Yeah. They're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Is that an alien? Yeah. That's awesome. Well, as long as they're like sweet and respectful kids. If they're like kicking the old people in the shin, then they might not like it so much. But all right, back to a couple business things. What's one thing no one warned you about when you got into this business?
Ooh, the time commitment.
Oh yeah.
There's never enough time in the day to get it all done.
Yeah.
And so when I was first starting, I was working 80, 90 hours a week.
Yep.
Just nonstop, just grinding.
Yep.
And you can burn out very, very quickly in real estate, especially in a busy market.
Yep.
When I was first getting started, it was a very busy market. So I had to learn to create work-life balance.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually, I think it was after the crash. My wife, I was working because we lost our ass. I'm not gonna lie. We went totally bankrupt in 08. We just moved here, bought our first house. Stupid, just dumb. 25-year-olds had a first kid, and then all of a sudden, and like I literally lost a house, had to file bankruptcy. It was rough, but after that, I was like, I'm never gonna be in that position again. And so the market started rebounding, and half my competition was gone. So I had good, like I was getting more business than I could handle, and my wife was like, dude,
something's got to change.
Yeah, I got up at 5 a.m, left, went to the bank. I was working at Bank of America for a little while just to get through the crash, and then I got back out on my own as quickly as I humanly possible. But yeah, I'd get to the bank at like 7:30 in the morning. I'd leave at 9 o'clock at night, and I'd repeat that, and I'd work all weekend. I'd be on the phone till 11, 12 o'clock at night and barely see my kids. My wife's like, why am I even married? But we were surviving. But, once I got to a level where I could afford an assistant, it was like, and then you just start branching out from there. Now in fairness, I work 30 hours a week and my team's got it.
Yeah.
But the work I do has to be highly valuable.
Yeah.
You've got to bring the business in.
Yep.
Because once and then when things slow down, you got to work 60 hours a week, which is, I'm back to that, constantly on the
got to be able to flex. Yeah. So I remember those days, man. I would pull in the driveway, and I would literally sit on my phone for almost another hour in some cases or more.
All the time.
Where I'm just answering phone calls. I couldn't say no. I couldn't put it down.
I know.
But I'm at a place now where like if I miss a client because they have to talk at 8:30 p.m. and I'm with my kids, they're not meant for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And if the team wants to handle that type of stuff, cool.
Yeah.
But even them, you got to be respectful of their time too.
Yeah.
So, what real estate myth do you wish would just die? Just like, and there's a lot right now.
Got to think about that one. I think the biggest real estate myth that I would want to correct if I could would be the myth that if I'm a home buyer and we're in a declining market, I should wait to buy.
Oh yeah.
Right? So the idea is that like
You took
I'm going to
mine.
get a better deal if I wait just because pricing is coming down. That's not necessarily true.
Nope.
Right? If anyone tells you they know where house pricing is going to be in 6 months, 12 months, they're lying.
Right.
We have predictions. We have people that are smarter than us that write these economic forecasts, but individual markets have their own individual idiosyncrasies.
Well,
And
the Villages is so weird. I mean, you guys don't beat to the same drum anywhere else around here.
Yeah.
Ocala, like, which is a working people's market compared to the Villages, it's night and day.
Yeah.
The crash we had in Ocala back in 08, you guys only had we had like I'm not kidding, 60 to 70% decline in home value, and Villages
it was
like,
less than half of that. Yeah.
It was like 15% maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're looking to purchase a home as a short-term asset where you're not sure if you're going to be there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, then you need to give it some more thought. But if you're looking to retire down here, if this is going to be a forever home, for lack of a better word, it's better to not buy now when you know what the pricing is than in the future when you don't know what the pricing is going to be.
Plus,
and throw money
sellers
at rent
will
in the
negotiate
meantime.
now.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, whenever the market does turn, they may not be anymore.
I've never had a single buyer who started renting a house because they're waiting to buy who was happy that they rented while they waited to buy.
Right.
I think if you can buy and you can do it in the next few months, like you should be buying within the next few months. Yeah.
Right. Well, anytime you buy real estate, you should think about it from a long-term perspective. If it's your residence.
Correct. Yeah.
Investors, a different story. Yeah. But if it's your residence, always think long-term. What's the market going to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? How long am I going to be there?
Yeah.
It's very rare. I mean, timing the market's like saying, "Oh, you're not a professional day trader. Like, stop it." And even most of them don't outperform the S&P. Just if you just put money in the S&P and just forgot about it, you'd still win. I mean, what's his name?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett said it 100 times. Like, he still has the bet outstanding where he says, if you can beat me, I'm just going to do this. It's simple. If you go do your thing and you beat me in a 10 years period, you pay him. I think he's upped it by something like
millions.
Yeah, nobody's beat him. So let's see here. What should buyers be learning before they start looking? Any tips to buyers that they should be learning before they start looking?
In this area especially, focus on location before you even start looking at home models.
Okay.
So I think location is more important than the...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because the Villages is divided up into villages, these individual neighborhoods, and different areas, there's different models available. So once you find the location you want to be in, maybe you want to be between these two town squares, I think that's when you hone in and say, okay, what home styles and what floor plans are available to me in that area? Because the risk is you fall in love with a floor plan, but then you can't find it in the area that you're looking for.
Right.
So I think focus on location first is one of the biggest things I do.
All right. I now that you say that and I know the market, that's totally right.
Yeah.
And to the point of, so many people come down, they think I want to live here, they buy, and then not even 6 months later, they're selling and buying something else. And that does cost you money. Every time you sell and buy, you're paying commissions, you're paying taxes, you're paying this and that, which we're happy to do it for you folks. All right. But at the end of the day, you could avoid a lot of, but if you got money coming out of your eyeballs, let's just sell you 5 of them. We're good. We'll move you around every 6 months. Yeah. So, is there an underestimated skill that separates good from great in your mind, and not necessarily for you in general, but like anybody in the real estate field? What makes good versus great?
That's a good question.
Because the 10% do 90% of the business.
Yeah,
that's a sales fact.
The word that comes to mind is consistency. So salespeople, like our personality type, the high D, high I, the influencers of the world, we have a tendency to have the shiny object syndrome.
I know.
Whatever's the most exciting thing, that's what we focus on. And I talked about myself being easily distracted. I have people and processes in my life that make sure that I do the same activities throughout the week so that my business stays on track.
Right.
I think consistency is just is the key. You got to be making outbound phone calls. You got to be talking to a lot of people. You have to be asking for business. You have to be taking good care of your existing clients, and you have to have a good team supporting you.
Yep.
Yeah.
My number one thing that would make good from great is I can't tell you how many agents and other lenders, and just because we're talking real estate and lending and things here, are not authentic with themselves.
Mm.
They can't look in the mirror and say, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And they will blame everyone else but themselves when it was their fault.
Take ownership.
Yeah. I mean, I had an agent who didn't send me a contract for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she just thought she did and she didn't. And then when we got it, we had to close in 2 weeks. Now, granted, she's a good partner. She didn't. She owned it.
Yeah. I
fucked up. Help me out. We turned and burned, and we got it closed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it didn't, no skin off of her back. Yeah. I did have to tell the client, I'm like, I can't hide this. Like, I'm going to close it on time. Yeah. I'm going to assure the clients we're going to close on time. Yeah. But I can't hide the fact that why hasn't the appraisal been ordered? Why hasn't that? Because I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, so she told, I screwed up, but my lender's going to fix it. Yeah. You know, and we did.
Then you get to look like the good guy.
We both get to look. We both did. I mean, everyone. I think the quicker you own something, the more likely you'll be forgiven. Yeah. You know. When you try to hide and blame everybody else, one of the ones I've seen, I'm not going to name any particular title companies, but there's a couple title companies down here who love to blame lenders and everyone else. Oh, I didn't get this on time. Oh, it says right in our thing that we need all the documents 48 hours before closing in order to be able to close on time. It's like, yeah, in a perfect world, we all want that. Yeah. But the good ones are going to get it done even if they get it 2 hours before closing. Find a way. And if you can't, then I'm going to find somebody else who can. Yeah. And that's what makes us refer business. Like we refer a lot of business to title companies and insurance people. For me, my number one referral that I give out is insurance. Mm-hmm. My insurance guy has to be on it. I send you a quote. I need my quotes in like an hour or two. Mm-hmm. I need you to know what your stuff is. And when I ask you for revisions and stuff, it's not 3 days later. It's the same day or the next morning. Mm-hmm. And I think, would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
customer service is everything.
Yeah. And be authentic with who you are and like what you did or didn't do to resolve issues.
Mistakes are inevitable.
Right.
And we tell all of our team members this. Mistakes are inevitable. We just hope that we don't make the same mistake twice. Mm-hmm. Right? So as long as we're learning from our mistakes, it's fine. I've made some of the most expensive mistakes. Yeah. You know, so mistakes are inevitable.
Yep. Would you say that like what are something that people spend way too much time on that doesn't actually make that much difference in the real estate process? Is there anything like that? Like they're just like so focused on this, and this, and it's really like it's such a moot thing that it shouldn't be worried about so much.
Yeah, I think when buyers are early in their home search, it really pays to have a good agent that knows the market looking out for you. Mm-hmm. And I think you need to trust that person with your home search. I think buyers spend too much time looking at homes and not enough time actually thinking about what their criteria are. Mm-hmm. And so that's why when we start working with a new buyer, we do a full buyer consult where we really drill down in detail.
Did you do the ranking thing I showed you?
We do the ranking thing.
You did?
Yes.
All right, sweet. He does the ranking thing.
So we rank how important various facets of the home and location are to them. Yeah. So that when we're out looking at properties and they shift gears, we can go, hold on. You told me you will only look at 3-bedroom homes. Why are we looking at a 2-bedroom villa? Right. Yeah. And so I think the idea is not that we want to prohibit them from looking at properties.
Sure, you want to.
We want to understand what they want.
What fundamentally changed right there.
Yeah, what they need and why. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we understand the why, we can really help steer them in the right direction. We might even help them find a property that's not on the market yet. Mm-hmm. So I have a guy who we really narrowed down his home search to like one specific model in 3 or 4 different neighborhoods. Yeah. And I spent about $1,000, but I sent out these really nice postcards. And specifically, I went on the tax records and I found every model. Right. We sent them out and we found one that was willing to sell. Huh. So I think
made it happen.
You need to take the time to figure out what it is you want in a house. And many times you need an advisor to help you with that process. And that's where we come in.
And some bandwidth. Yes. It takes a little bit like, you know, some of these like one single person running around might not be able to do that type of level.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
You having the bandwidth you do allows you to be able to do that type of stuff where others can't. What moment? What's a moment that you realize you had finally like? Well, if you're anything like me, I never feel like I made it. But was there a point in your career so far where you're just like, oof, I feel like I'm starting to figure this out, you know, where things are starting to click and they're moving along? Like at what stage, what place you just hired that, like what hire where all of a sudden it's like, all right, now I kind of found the slot, you know, where like you can start to let go and focus, you know, like was there a spot, like maybe giving some advice to younger agents who want to be where you're at?
It's hard to say because I share your sentiment that I haven't arrived.
I never have.
Yeah, I'm always chasing the future version of myself.
Yeah.
And I don't think
Matthew
I've made it.
McConaughey does a big talk about that.
Yeah, so at one of the awards ceremony, Matthew McConaughey talks about you have to have someone that you're looking up to, someone that you're chasing after, and something else. But always be chasing after the future version of yourself. I'm not a very big awards guy. Like I hate even sitting through awards ceremony, but I earned a pretty big award for our performance last year.
Yeah.
I was named one of the top 100 RE/MAX agents in the United States.
Nice.
Out of like 54,000 agents.
Yep.
So I think that was like a moment where I went, oh my goodness, like I have built something that's like fairly successful.
Yeah.
And I realize it's not me. It's my team. It's Matt. It's me. It's all of us working together and just doing a really good job taking care of people.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I've arrived, man.
I'm like you too. I got my company because they submit there's this thing called Scotsman Guide, and it's like
Is it named after you?
No. Yes, it's named after me. No, actually, Scott Evans, who's a good friend of mine, who is in the top, like I think he's in the top 10 in the country right now. It should be named after him. He's the freaking beast. He's out in like San Diego or something like that. But
high price points.
Yeah. He does one deal for every like 10 I have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so but yeah, I got my assistant came and she goes, you know, you're the top 1% of all the loan officers in the country. I'm like, I am. I'm like, where? I'm like number like 626 or something like that in the country, like last year. And I was like, oh, okay.
It's kind of like that realtor thing where 92% didn't close a house. You know,
right.
It's like,
I don't like, to your point, I just do my thing. And, you know, if the accolades come and the awards come, great, you know, because people are like, I don't chase awards.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you do either. I don't, you know, it doesn't serve my purpose.
I wouldn't even know unless someone had sent me an email. Like I got an email. I was like,
let's say you want to compete against somebody on dollar volume. I mean, like, the top, if you want to go against, you have to do 10 times the transactions as somebody in Beverly Hills, California. You know, or Miami, or you know, like we're volume people up here, folks. Okay, all right.
A lot of home sales.
All right, what else do we have? So media breakdown. So let's talk about some headlines and things. What's your take on the no one can afford to buy narrative? I know I got a lot to say about that, but you go tell me what you think about it.
I just think the way economies work, like a home is an asset. It's a product. It's ultimately going to, like, it's going to sell for a price. Like there's, I don't know. I feel like mortgage payments, average cost of living really hasn't changed that much in the last 5 or 6 years.
Mortgage cost has.
Yeah, I guess the rates have gone up.
Right. So, I mean, to me, you don't mind me interjecting, there's 3 pillars to the housing market. There's the income of the area. Okay, now we're talking, the difference here is you got retirees. Okay. They're selling some house up north and they're mostly paying cash.
Yeah.
Okay. But for the working people of this area, I actually would say there is some truth to that. But that's what's pushing the prices down. So there's 3 factors, right? Number 1 factor is the income of the area. All right. Has that gone up for the working people of this area?
Not a whole lot. Yeah.
No. In fact, I'd say with the inflation, it's actually gone down. Okay. Because the cost of everything else has gone up. So their dollars aren't stretching as far. The interest rates, which really we've gone from 2% to 7 something, okay, in 4 years. So yeah, that has gone up. But the home price has also doubled. All right. So what's the one thing that what can we control in this area? We can't control their incomes. We can't control their interest rates.
Control the prices. Yeah.
And so it's pushing the prices down, which ultimately, like you said, rising tide raises everything, a lowering tide lowers everything. Even if you are a retiree, as the nation goes through this, that house that you need to sell to move down here may have to sell for less up where you're coming from.
Right.
And then you may not be able to buy as much down here, which the real estate world's a slow web. It's not like this.
It's not like the stock market where it can correct overnight.
Right.
It's going to take some time.
I wish it could just do it. Honest to God, like, well, when this whole thing happened and whatnot, and they started raising the rates really slow.
Yeah.
That was like a bleed out to me. I was like yelling every day at the screen.
Looking at the
Treasury. I was like, well, in the 80s, actually, what they did was smart. They raised the rates like overnight. They went from, I don't know, like, because they were high compared to what we were. They were like 8, and they raised them to like 18, and we're like overnight, and everything stopped, and it sucked. But it was over within like 3 months. People adjusted, the prices adjusted, and everything started just getting back on a level playing field.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, they just ripped it off. And we didn't do that this time. It was just like, we're going to raise a quarter. Then we're going to raise another quarter. Then we're going to raise, and they should have done it way sooner too. Like, that's what caused the prices to go to the levels they're at. I mean, yes, we had inventory and all this other stuff, but I don't know.
It does seem like rates are coming down in a similar fashion. They're
because of the buy down strategies.
Yeah.
They're really not. Like, in fact, Jerome Powell was just on yesterday, and he was saying, "I'm leaving rates there because our problem isn't the rates; the problem's the price." He literally said it on the Fed meeting with Congress yesterday.
Yeah,
I was just happened to be scrolling through, and I was like, "Oh, how did I time that?" You know what I mean? So he's literally saying, "I want prices to fall," you know, because it's not sustainable.
It's got to correct.
Yep.
So I say there's always a price where something will sell. The economy will take care of itself.
Of course. Yeah, it will. It's just how long is it going to take? You know, what are we going to have to go through to get there?
There is an interesting, I haven't really done the research on this, but there's an interesting perspective. In the development side, you'll notice there's a lot of new home developments where they're not selling the properties, they're leasing them.
Oh, I know that.
And I think that there's some prediction out there that the next generation, like my children's generation, something like 80 or 90% of them will not be homeowners.
I don't like that.
I don't know if this is true. I don't know what it's based on.
That's the World Economic Forum thing.
Yeah.
And there's some people have said that's getting blown apart. Some people are saying it's coming to fruition. And there was a line at one point where they said, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. The dilemma with that is, if you look at in our country, the first step to independence and wealth building is property ownership as your first step. And over time, now granted, we had the 08 and we're going through the correction we went through now. And the last big one was in the early 90s, and one before that was in the early 80s. And people forget that. They're like, home prices never go down. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It's just the blips don't look as big on the map anymore because we've had so much bigger ones lately. But if you don't give people a chance at the American dream, then what are they going to do?
Yeah,
you know. And then also that means some corporation could just literally
in the dough.
Set the price. So what's the legal aspect of, you can't just go raise rents on people, you know. They're going to put rent cap. We're going to have a homestead for rent, you know?
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm with you. I hope it's not true.
Right.
It is an interesting prediction, if you can call it that.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, on the other side, on the villages, I had an interesting prediction that's worthy of talking about. Think about this. There's a huge gap. So my generation is the next one. I'm Gen X. And I was like one of the youngest ones in the Gen X. Okay. And then what's after that? Is it millennials?
Millennials after that, yeah, I think.
Okay. And so the Gen X generation and Gen Y, is that?
Gen Y comes after millennials, I think.
Does it?
I don't know.
I don't know. But I feel like there's the baby boomers, and then there's 2 generations, and then millennials, I thought. But anyway, the point is that there's a lot less children born than the baby boomers ones.
Right.
So think about this. You won't have enough 55 and older people to fill the villages in 10 years. So what are they going to do?
15 to 20-year forecast for the villages is a little gloomy.
Well, they know. I think they'll transition into.
Well, look at what they're doing with Middleton. It's a non-age restricted community.
Yeah, they got to start testing that.
Yeah. I think they're testing it hard, and it's succeeding. Then
the question is, what's the industry? Right now, the industry for the working people of this area is to take care of the retirees. They're going to have to do more than that.
They might have to adjust the age restriction requirement for
Right.
part or all of the community.
Right. Probably start
Yeah.
going one by one by one.
Yeah, you also have the problem of most people in my generation are not saving for retirement, right?
Right.
So,
Well, it's not, they want to, they can't. A
correct.
lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah, I think the retirement picture even 15, 20 years from now is going to look very different from what it does now.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some big overhaul at some point. Something's going to get shaken up at some point where it's like, maybe we'll have one of those Teddy Roosevelt monopoly buster type situations.
Yeah.
A little bit more power to the people, a little bit less power to the corporations, but I don't know. That's a political conversation I want to get into. Are there any headlines that are getting wrong in the villages? Like, I'm going to run through a couple. You answer. All right. So, do you think that there's market panic is buyer driven or media driven? We kind of already answered that. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit of both. Maybe more so media heavy.
Yeah, I think it's media, and also I think the media is 6 months behind what reality is.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're at a great time for the buyers to buy. Buyers markets. When do you want to buy? In a buyer's market or a seller's market?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. How do you calm clients down during economic uncertainty? Like, what do you? I think we kind of talk about that already.
Yeah. I think
kind of
so.
cover that one. Let's see here. I'm going to switch cards here. All right. I got a better one. All right. So editors, we're going to go back. I didn't like those last two questions. I didn't like the last card, like at the end of it, because we kind of covered a lot of it. We've talked a lot. So we're going to go on to rapid fire. So pause for a second. All right. Rapid fire questions. So, all right. I'm going to bust through real quick. I just want a couple word answers. All right. Pickleball or pool bar?
Pickleball.
Pickleball. All right. Best village restaurant to go to?
Ooh.
I know you named a bunch, but just.
I like Coastal Del Mar.
All right. Coastal Del Mar. Cool. Yeah. Haunted house or no air conditioning?
Haunted house.
I haven't pre-read
I can't
these.
live without air conditioning.
All right. Okay. I'd rather live with the ghouls. All right. Got it. HOA drama or zoning war?
Zoning war. It's more interesting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Dream retirement home, beach or countryside, or the villages?
Can I have a combination of both?
Sure.
We already mentioned I live on 70 acres, but I love the beach.
Yeah. I love the beach too. Hopefully it stays there and doesn't move inland.
Yeah.
Maybe we get more of it. Maybe everybody's wrong.
500,000 years or so. Maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. You're the Harvard guy. You tell me. Yeah. Most Florida thing you've ever seen?
Oh my goodness.
This is a Florida man moment.
I was.
You've seen, not on TV. Like you saw it.
Personally, yes. I was a part of the Florida man moment. So my wife's cousins live in Gainesville area. They're all kind of rednecky.
All right. Well, Gainesville's not that rednecky. Outside of Gainesville, Reddick and Citra. Yeah.
Yeah, we were going to take the boat out on one of the rivers, the Santa Fe or whatever. And the water levels were too high to get the boat out, so we had to go down this other small river. Now this is like it was like a 30-something foot boat. Like this is a big boat
for this little canal type.
This little canal, and we're like weaving in and out of rocks. So I felt like a Florida man in that moment, right?
Right.
And we had these other kind of redneck types pulling up on their ATVs, literally pointing and laughing at us and saying, "We'll see you coming right back the other way in about 5 minutes."
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my most redneck moment today.
Did you come back the other way in 5 minutes?
We did. We got stuck.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we got stuck trying to pass through a canal, and we had to literally get out of the boat to lighten the weight, turn it around, and send it back upstream. It was a very, very hillbilly thing to try to do.
That's crazy. Yeah. Would you rather lose Wi-Fi or lose your car for a week?
Ooh, I think I'd rather lose Wi-Fi. I can operate.
Well, and here's for my question. And so, does Wi-Fi include your cell phone service? Like literally no internet connection whatsoever?
Honestly, it'd probably be a blessing. It'd be a nice reset.
Well, I literally go away every 2 months for that. Where they take my phones away and all that. There's things I do, like it's a retreat type thing I go to. And I love it. When they hand the phone back at the end of the day, I'm like give it away. I hate it. I hate my phone. Cool. So what was the answer on that one? Car or Wi-Fi?
No Wi-Fi. Yeah.
No Wi-Fi. Or you'd rather lose it. Cool. What's your Zillow guilty pleasure? Do you have any kind of like where you're just kind of sitting there or is it you do it so much you just don't even want to look at it?
I feel like I've found the dream property. Like I've got a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah.
I don't really jump on Zillow much anymore to look at things, but maybe at some point in the future I'll be looking at beach houses.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's something you would never say at a listing, even if it was true?
Up until recently, your house smells.
Oh.
I was invited to list a property that was very heavily smoked in,
Right.
and I had to let them know. I mean, I just couldn't leave without telling them this is going to be a big problem. We need to get it fixed. But if there's like other smells, like a pet odor or something, I have a hard time telling people that.
No, I wouldn't.
I'd rather have someone else break the bad news to them.
Oh.
So I let my pre-listing person do
Oh, okay. Well, as long as somebody's got to say it. Yeah, but that makes sense. No,
it's smells, man. People are really sensitive to smells.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do that gingerly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this on the smell subject, just because I think it's a funny story. There was this, between college breaks and stuff, the one job that I could always get when my other more favorite jobs were available, I worked at Cracker Barrel up in New York.
Yeah.
And there was this one couple that would come in. It would either be Thursday or Friday night. They'd rotate. And we called them the Band-Aid people. The nice people, always got the same food, but they reeked like smelled like this weird Band-Aid. And so like we'd all complain about it. And one time, one of the servers, we were like, what is that? Like, why do they smell like it reeks? Like, like a package of Band-Aids. Like
adhesive,
what?
Yeah, it smells like
adhesive. And they're like, it's their Depends. Yeah. Apparently they both had continence issues or something. And yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And occasionally they wouldn't just smell like Band-Aids, but
I did not know that they gave off a strong smell.
Oh, it was, you couldn't not notice it. Like it was bad. I'm like, where does that, like I cigarettes. Yeah, I get that, certain other like lotions and whatever. Yeah. But it's weird. Let's see here. Craziest client request. What's the craziest client request you ever got that you can think off the top of your head?
I had a buyer who was really into numerology, and she asked that I only show her houses where the house numbers added up to certain digits.
Ah, okay.
At first, I thought she was joking.
She was dead serious.
And so I kind of chuckled, and she was like, "Why are you laughing?"
Like
Most of it's garbage, man.
Yeah, I turn it on for. I will say this though, from a rock perspective, you ever listen to Greta Van Fleet? Their newer band. Yeah. Oh, dude, they're badass. They're so good.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, they're so good. Like, because I constantly say there's no good rock music out there, like coming out anymore, and they're awesome. Check them out. So last one, if real estate had an Olympics, what would be your gold medal event? Like, what would be the big thing?
Like, what would the award go to?
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know. I would hope it would be the realtor that can do the most push-ups in one set.
I bet you kick my ass. Yeah.
Matt and I actually occasionally have push-up competitions.
Do you really?
In the office, yeah.
How many can you do in one set?
Like 130 or so.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. Well, I mean, if we go to war in Afghanistan, the Marines need somebody too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go right in the Marine Corps.
Backup plan.
Yeah. That's cool. How long is too long to stay in an open house? You kind of said it. Like,
really?
For
an open house, anything over 2 hours. Usually 2 hours is a good window, maybe 3.
Right.
It depends on the style of open house, but the type that we do, we try to keep it to 2 hours.
Right.
I guess if you're doing more of a wine and cheese thing, you could go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But 2 hours is a good window.
I had one agent I was in a coaching call with who she's up in a pretty very densely populated area. And the way she would advertise is she would do 1 hour open houses. That's it, 1 hour.
Huh.
And so it created this like sense of urgency. And so she would do like 4 on a Saturday. So she'd like have an hour to set up, or not even an hour, like 30 minutes set up, have the open house, 30 minutes at the next, like get out, do the next one, do the next one. She could have like 4 in a day, but she didn't have a team. So she was doing them all on her own. She had success with it. I don't know if it was any good, but yeah.
I remember one time I was doing an open house in the Villages, and we're doing a standard like 2-hour open house. And there was a listing across the street where the agent was holding it open for 12 hours.
Oh my God.
And he had it on a big flag, 8 to 8 or whatever it was.
Well, you have it like a dance marathon there.
So I made a note. I was like, okay, I had like 16 people or whatever through my open house. And I called him later that day, and I was like, or maybe the next day, and I said, how many people, like just out of curiosity, how many people do you have come through? And it was like 20 something.
Right.
So I'm like, you sat there for 12 hours and you got four or five more people than I got.
Man, you might as well have a good book. And
there you go.
Yeah, that's funny.
2 hours, create some excitement, get people through the door.
Yeah, get them through. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, and honestly too, Villages is one of the last markets where open houses actually get attended.
Because every day's a weekend.
Right. Exactly. Like up where, okay, they have some modest, but for the most part, I mean, I went to an open house at a beautiful $1.6 million house right down the road from mine. And the guy said 2 people showed up. Yeah. And they wanted me to go sit there with them, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna drop some stuff off. I got stuff to help you, but I don't sit. I just don't do it. Yeah. Not in my market. Yeah. Now, if I was down here and you want me to come run around, I'll do a couple with you. But you know, it's just let's see. What's something that you cannot stand when a buyer says it? It's just like, oh, come on.
I honestly can't think of anything. I'm pretty tolerant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is your rate's too high. Yeah. And it's always like based on what?
Yeah, you know? that's fair. Yeah. I think when people are shopping you like you're a commodity, that we have that issue probably more on the seller side, right? Right. And that's where it comes down to working with people.
I see buyers do it too, though. They'll work with a buyer's agent, and then they'll call a listing agent.
Your dog into the showing, though.
No, that's not cool.
Please don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I maybe if it's an emotional support animal and you're holding it the whole time, but people try to walk their dogs into the house. I'm like, hold up.
No. Yeah.
You know, like,
not your house.
Seller might be allergic. We don't, you know.
Right. Like, sometimes you might have a cat or something roaming around. All of a sudden you got a dog running around after cat. Yeah. How early is too early for a showing? In the morning.
For me, like anything before 10, I like my 8:30 to 10 a.m. window is like when I'm getting ready for the day. We're having a team meeting. We do occasionally do showings earlier than that, but usually after the mid-morning hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I already know the answer because you said something about it earlier. What's your real estate ick? Like,
smells.
Smells.
Yeah, smells are big for me. Just unclean, dirty houses.
Lots of these hanging around.
Yeah, these don't bother me. We actually started recently bringing in professional cleaners to nearly all of our listings. Just because we're in a very competitive market. There's a lot of inventory out there, and we want our listings to be clean. Right. So I think uncleanliness is a turnoff for a lot of people.
Well, yeah. Especially older folks.
Yeah.
You know, like you get more anal as you get older because it's like you don't have as much to pay attention to.
True.
Like with us with 4 kids, I got 4 kids. You got 5
stuff
kids.
all over the counter, all over the floor.
Yeah. Do you have a bunch of animals yet?
No, not yet.
Oh God, dude! When you get out back on that acreage, wait till that happens. Yeah. Okay, right now we got 3 dogs in my house because 2 of mine, my brother's, because he's in Ireland, and then we got 3 cats. We've got 2 bunny rabbits, and we're about to get a chicken coop. All right. So, and then we have 4 kids, and it's just
the chickens will be nice. You do your own eggs.
Yeah, I get my own eggs and everything. But yeah, it's just, you know, there's always just rolls of dog hair. I don't care. You vacuum 6 times a day. You're always going to have it. You're just going to have it. So what's your cheat meal? I know you're Mr. Healthy. So is there a cheat meal? Is there something you're just like?
I like a good burger.
Good burger?
I just like a good burger.
I don't feel like that's a cheat meal necessarily, though.
No?
I don't think burgers are unhealthy. I mean, maybe if you ate them every single day.
Yeah.
Right? No?
No, I don't really cheat, man. Like I have go-to whenever if my assistant notices that I don't carry lunch in with me, if I didn't pack a lunch for the day or my wife didn't pack a lunch, I have like 2 things that I order consistently.
Oh, okay.
I have a specific bowl at Chipotle.
Yeah.
And with the new Chipotle in
Kat does that for me.
They deliver here, and then the place Candelaria, the Colombian place, I have a go-to order there.
Mine is the pho soup. Once a week, I almost always get
Vietnamese.
Yeah, I love that pho soup.
I love it. Have you been to Pho Saigon?
I haven't been to the one down here. The one close to my office, I just get DoorDash and they bring it in. Yeah. Although it's a little like $20 for soup.
A little cheaper here.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
they make their own bone broth too.
Yeah. So it's a little one-upper, but I think they all kind of have to. Yeah. You know, you're gonna buy it from the store. What good is it? Yeah. You know, it's like why I might as well make it myself, right? Yeah. What's more nerve-wracking, open house or a blind date? Which you've been married for a while, so I don't know how you can compare that. But yeah, I'm not easily. I didn't write these questions, so I'm not easily unnerved. Okay, no, that's cool. One thing you always forget at a showing. Is there something you're just like, damn it, again? Dude, I forget stuff everywhere. Yeah, I forget stuff everywhere. I like to have my laptop with me in case another listing comes up or we need to pull something up. So if I forget my computer, I'm in bad shape. Right. Yeah. I usually get upset myself. Or do you have an iPad you bring around with you or anything? No. Yeah. You might want it. Maybe I'll have I should get one with a cell phone connection on it. Yeah. So that way, it's your backup. Compound, so the Villages family. Yeah, that's a cool neighborhood, right by Spanish Springs Town Square, and it's the only truly gated neighborhood in the Villages. It's part of the Villages. It is part of the Villages amenity. They have their own HOA as well. Yeah, that's the high dollar stuff in there, right? Yeah, we just put one under contract for 1.05. Okay, I mean, you can get in a little lower than that. Okay, and then there's a place off of Glenview Championship Golf Course, Sunbury, the Village of Sunbury there, in Glenbrook area. That's pretty cool. There's some nice premier homes. Most people don't really know are back there. Yeah, yeah, somewhere on that Lake Sumter and all that stuff, right? I mean, there's $2-3 million houses. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. I remember Tammy over there sold one of them one time. I had to go check it out. It was pretty cool. Yeah. Would you rather close 100 deals or take 6 months off work? Close 100 deals. So, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I like closing deals. Yeah, me too. And honestly, like I don't know what I'd do. Like after a month off, I'd be like, what the hell? Like 10 days is probably become an alcoholic again. I probably would. 10 days is my breaking point for vacation. Yeah. So like when I get past day 10 on vacation, I'm ready to get back to work. Yeah. Unless I'm somewhere awesome. Like I have to be somewhere really like I don't know. Like we went to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. Yeah, that'd be I want to come. We were having a ball. Like I love just exploring. Going exploring everywhere. Do you have the whole family? Yeah, I brought the whole family. That's cool. Yeah, it was cool. We're going to be in upstate New York next week for going back. I'm staying on the lake up there. Which lake? We're going to be on Lake Pleasant in Speculator area. It's way up there, right? That's way up there, yeah. Yeah, okay. Like, quite a ways up there. Is that one, like houses and stuff up there? Yeah. Okay, there's a bunch of lakes I used to hike to. A couple big camps. It was voted one of for you was what?
Probably Mount Dora. I mean,
Mount Dora.
I'd probably go to the beach for the weekend.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Like we're going to Hammock Beach this weekend.
Nice.
With the kids and golf. I'll bring my boys golfing over there and stuff. It's fun.
We did a trip. You have to get there. You have to go there when it's not overcrowded. But the Emerald Coast, like Destin area.
Oh, we do that all the time. Yeah. I love Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa is awesome.
Yeah, and then A1A, the whole area up there. Yeah, it's really pretty. Yeah. Yep. Destin's overpopulated though. If you go,
we went in November and it was a ghost town.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it was a warmer than average November, so it was like perfect.
Oh okay.
We had the whole beach to ourselves.
That's a good idea.
Got a beachfront condo for like $120 a night.
Oh shit. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do that.
Off season, baby.
Yeah. See, like I like this. I just don't like Destin's like the Myrtle Beach of the Gulf to me. It gets so. It's not as nasty. Like Myrtle Beach, kind of. You know, but I remember, like now when we go up there in the summer, we'll stay in Santa Rosa. And if we really want to go into Destin, we drive in. Yeah. You know, but that's cool. Let's see. Real estate villain, the neighbor, the lender, or the HOA?
The HOA, always.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And if you could ban one home trend forever, what would it be?
Ooh.
It could be a decorative thing. It could be a...
I don't know.
Just a layout thing.
I can't really think of anything, honestly.
No.
Every once in a while, there's something I'm like, why do people do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing really comes to mind.
Mine is like when it looks like a Mexican restaurant inside, and it's nothing against. Oh God, yeah, I've seen some. It's like, and I'm not saying there's anything against that at all, but it's
just your vibe, man.
No, it's like every other wall is a different color. In every room.
I'm not a fan of that.
I'm like, what the freak? You know what I mean?
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, it's like it gives me like trauma. I don't like it. Anyway, so is there anything else in closing you want to wrap up? Let's just kind of touch base. So, Guy, where can people get a hold of you and your team? What's the best way to get a hold of you? Find you wherever.
Yeah, if you Google or go on our website, robertswilliamsteam.com. Just look up the Roberts Williams team. My partner, Matt Roberts. I'm Guy Williams.
Yep.
That's how you find us.
Awesome. And for all these you guys who want to work with Guy and their team, I can tell you, I started working with them when they very first started. I was already working with their predecessors, and these guys they've taken off. They really have. They took what got started and they've taken it to the next level. And I'm super excited to see where it goes. And I'm so happy to be your partner and that you trust me and I trust you guys implicitly. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
For sure.
Anything else you want to say in signing off?
I think that's it. Thanks for having us here today. And looking forward to a nice second half of the year.
Yeah. One fern between two dudes. Anyway. All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, Scott.
Talk to you later.
Cool, man.
Yeah. All right.